Dear investors, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our annual Investor Day. We're most excited to see so many world-class impact investors on this cold winter day here in Oslo. This is the day to celebrate investing for change and truly highlight of the year for us at Katapult. We thank you for sharing the next hour with us. Today, you will hear pitches from 10 blue ocean companies, and tomorrow you will meet our green climate cohort. We've been working with the companies in our 3-month accelerator program. This is Katapult's 10th cohort in only 5 years. And recently also Katapult Ocean was nominated as the best accelerator globally. After today's pitches, you will have the opportunity to meet with the founders in the breakout rooms. But first, let's take a look back on what has happened since the last time we were here, just a year ago. Though we hoped for even stronger commitments at COP, 2022 has been an amazing year for the oceans. To mention a few highlights, 30 by 30, several countries committing to protect at least 30% of their land and oceans by 2030. The famous G20 meetings have their first ever O20 meetings, Ocean 20, alongside the G20 in Indonesia. We're proud to represent ocean innovation and the impact investment side of the equation. At the UN Ocean Conference in Lisbon, we launched the Ocean Impact Navigator. Together with Systemic and our friends at Thousand Ocean Startups Coalition, this is a framework to measure impact in the oceans, publicly available, and we encourage you all to adopt it. We also launched our annual Ocean Impact Industry Report, the Blue World Perspective, this year in collaboration with Duke University and Hafslund Eco, showing that we have a growing global ocean ecosystem, and we're putting oceans at the core of climate solutions. Finally, it's exciting to see several ocean funds establishing and generalist climate investors investing into ocean ventures. The past 3 years, we've backed 52 ocean impact ventures. And with our new fund, we're not only recognized as the world's most active ocean impact fund, but also as a top innovative fund for the future by World Economic Forum and Uplink. But most importantly, our portfolio companies are scaling and thriving, making more impact and more investment opportunities for you, investors. Ross Brooks, General Partner and Investment Director at Katapult Ocean, will tell you more.
At Katapult, we look at the ocean through 3 lenses of value creation: ocean energy systems, ocean organics, and circular resources. The ocean is so far undiminished and underharnessed in terms of its power generation capacity. Innovations in floating structures and mooring systems, combined with declining production costs, are bringing this vast ocean space online. Wind and floating solar are transitioning further offshore to the deep sea, and wave and tidal technologies are beginning to mature at competitive price levels. Green propulsion will transform ocean mobility for passengers and cargo alike. Electric vessels are viable today, and hydrogen is showing promise for range extension and commercial shipping applications. A wave of innovation in hydrogen storage and production will fuel this shift. Our global population is growing, and our land-based agricultural systems are diminishing. The ocean is an engine of life production with tremendous carrying capacity to help us meet our resource needs. We look for the highest quality founders building new businesses using functional organic material which can be regeneratively harvested from our oceans. This can include new sources of protein, high-value compounds for nutraceutical function and cosmetics, active pharmaceutical ingredients, and agricultural inputs to green and regenerate our land-based systems. Pollution is choking our oceans and waterways, inhibiting their ability to support life and to act as an effective carbon sink. Our circular resource domain invests in solutions which address land and ocean pollution, low-footprint alternative materials, zero liquid discharge desalination, and direct environmental remediation technologies. As investors in the blue economy, we're often challenged to speak about the opportunities that we see in the ocean space and why you should be paying attention. So let's give it a go. So let's start with the obvious. The ocean is really big. I mean, it's really, really big. It's not called the blue planet for nothing. 70% of the surface of our planet is ocean. And believe it or not, the oceans make up 99.9% of all livable space on the planet, from coral reefs to deep sea trenches to our beautiful northern Norwegian fjords. Not only does it give the planet life, it gives us life, generating 50% of the oxygen that we breathe, absorbing 25% of CO2 emissions, and absorbing 90% of excess heat resulting from climate change. So we cannot address climate change or climate resilience without getting our toes wet. So no shortage of opportunities then. The ocean is the greatest tool we have at our disposal to meet our resource and climate challenges. Blue economy growth and regeneration is not just about opportunities at this point, it's also an economic necessity. Now, let's move to the main event and meet some of these great founders tackling these challenges head on.
Hello and welcome to sunny, warm, and beautiful Norway. Now it is what you've been waiting for. We're here to present to you our amazing ocean startups. They've been working very hard the last 3 months through our accelerator program, and they're eager to pitch their solutions to you now. Also, remember in the chat, you'll be able to find links to a landing page where you can find decks for the companies, request an interview, or just ask them questions. Our next company runs a multifaceted business that both collects onshore sargassum seaweed off of Caribbean beaches and refines the seaweed into products for the agricultural, cosmetic, and fashion industries. In doing so, they are creating positive environmental and economic impact for the areas they collect the sargassum from, replacing harmful chemically derived ingredients with new, sustainable alternatives. Please meet Carbonwave.
Why wouldn't we take the largest seaweed bloom on the planet and turn it into circular economy products, all while preventing methane emissions and helping nations deal with an out-of-control problem? My name is Jeff Chapin. I'm the CEO of Carbonwave. I left Bain Consulting because I wanted to apply my business and public policy skills to purpose-driven organizations fighting climate change. I joined Bridgespan Group and also started an 800-person, $100 million company in energy efficiency and solar. We served 140,000 homes, but this wasn't going to move the needle. I knew my next company had to have true scale potential. And for true scale, why not use the ocean and the natural organisms that created our habitat to begin with? That's where seaweed comes in. Many companies are working on seaweeds, but they require large infrastructure that's costly for the hatcheries and for the seaweed to attach to. That isn't very scalable. Sargassum, on the other hand, floats on the surface of the ocean. It replicates itself and is already blooming out of control as the largest seaweed bloom on the planet. This is due to climate change, increased pollution, and increasing ocean temperatures. This is a massive double impact opportunity. First, Carbonwave removes the sargassum that's rotting and releasing a large amount of methane, hurting tourism and disturbing natural habitats. Second, we create high-value products like biostimulants, cosmetic emulsifiers, and a leather alternative using our novel IP that is a cascading biorefinery process. The products that we make replace the need for fossil fuel oil in shampoos, lotions, and creams, and reduces the need for nitrogen fertilizer and animal leather, even plastics. All of this is done at market price parity with no premium, yet we're very profitable. Our emulsifier plant we're building can produce a $15 million revenue stream for $3 million of capex at a 55% gross margin. We've already sold over half a ton of emulsifiers to a top 10 cosmetics company, with 75 other companies that are working with it in testing. We won Best Functional Ingredient at the industry-leading In Cosmetics trade show, and we can't keep up with demand for samples and product. Our biostimulant is sold by distributors across Mexico and is in testing with some of the largest beard barley product producers in the world. Our leather alternative is in pre-launch, but it's already been requested by over 10 companies, despite us saying it isn't launched yet. Sargassum is one of the biggest ocean climate nexus opportunities in history. And in less than 3 years, we have positioned ourselves as the experts with an IP moat that is expanding. We have a world-class team of material science PhDs, proven sales members, and talent from companies like L'Oreal, Ocean Wood and Tetra Capital, Purple Carrot, Bain, and more. We've already closed our $5 million Series A with 4 respected institutions and are inviting $2 million more of helpful follow-on investment over the next couple of months. Thank you for your attention. Please come meet us at our table for an informal chat. Because capitalizing on the largest seaweed bloom on the planet with protectable IP is about the most logical climate step we can take. Thank you.
Shifting from the coast to the near shore, our next company is working to enable scalable, sustainable, waterborne transportation by introducing autonomous navigation technology that can eventually reduce onboard crew to zero, while also providing benefits such as increased energy optimization, lower operational costs, and improved route planning. Things it hopes will encourage further adaptation of electric vessels in public transport and beyond. Here are the founders of Cebus to tell you how.
Hello, my name is Erik Darkoren, CEO and co-founder of Cebus. My life has been about exploration. I've lived around the world, I've worked closely with astronauts, and I started a successful underwater drone company. In Cebus, I'm exploring how to tap into one of the greatest growth opportunities of this decade: waterborne mobility, intelligent and efficient solutions for urban waterways and beyond. And in Cebus, we have the team, technology and partners to define and take this market. You know, congestion and traffic is one of the largest challenges of our time, and the urban mobility market is said to grow another 50% by 2030. Radical solutions are required for this escalating problem. Revitalization of urban waterways will be an essential part of the solution, as 90% of urban areas are located near water. And what is stopping us from that? While traditional boats are simply too expensive and inflexible to operate to be competitive. That is why Cebus has developed a radically cost-cutting autonomy system aimed at enabling widespread waterborne mobility. Imagine networks of small and electric, remotely monitored, unmanned vessels creating shortcuts across urban waterways, departing every 5 minutes, 24/7, simple and safe, almost like taking an elevator or going over a virtual bridge. This will make cities larger and distances shorter. More people will be attracted to walk, go by bike and use micromobility, leading to a reduction in road-based traffic and congestion and less need for fixed infrastructure. That is what we're building towards. In September this year, we successfully launched the world's first autonomous urban ferry here in Trondheim. In just 3 weeks, it made 400 crossings and carried 1,500 passengers without any incident. Our largest customer, Torghatten, a major Norwegian ferry operator, will next year start a fully commercial autonomous ferry service uniquely designed around the Cebus technology in Stockholm, the perfect launchpad for global scaling of waterborne mobility solutions. Cebus is building a world-class team and consists today of 22 employees, 4 serial entrepreneurs and 7 autonomy PhDs. Our CTO Øyvind is one of the most respected personalities in our business and is even a professor of maritime autonomy. We are hiring a CFO and commercial manager with emphasis on experience, diversity and commercial culture building throughout the organization. Over the next 3 years, we will raise 40 million euros and build a 3 billion euro company. Starting now with our Seed Plus round, we are seeking investors that want to join us in defining and leading this emerging growth market. Please come and meet us afterwards at the table to discuss opportunities. Thank you for your attention.
Sticking with sustainable maritime transportation, our next company has developed a hydrogen-powered boat engine for the future, as well as a range of onboard safety systems and fully prototyped vessels, which are designed to incorporate these new components. Additionally, as we're all cognizant that the future happens slowly, they've also built a hybrid vessel that can utilize both electric power and hydrogen as we wait for hydrogen infrastructure to fully come online. Please meet the pioneers at Hyrex.
Hi, my name is Lars Henrik Torgersen from the hydrogen technology company Hyrex. I'm responsible for business development in the company. My background is ranging from consulting to telecom to aerospace and defense. and always worked in the intersection between technology, customers, and building business. I'm the only one in front of the camera, but I must mention that there's the founding team are 3 more guys. They have combined a century of deep technical experience, ranging from software engineering to electrical engineering to nuclear physics, and also equal experience in building business. Our vision is to reduce CO2 emissions along the coast by introducing zero-emission boats with acceptable range and charging time to contribute to a new standard for boating with less noise and less pollution to the benefit of everyone along the coast and at the sea. And importantly, to create green business opportunity, which has a solid long-term business case. The problem we are addressing is that greenhouse emissions globally need to be cut in all sectors. Political market pressure for this is increasing. Investments are being made to address it at sea and at land, but not for the huge market for hundreds of thousands of vessels in the smaller segments between 24 and 50 feet, only in Europe, and probably millions globally. This is where we fill the gap. First in the leisure boat segment. Secondly, we will move into the professional vessel segment. We have a Hyrex 28 hydrogen electric day cruiser, which we launched in March 2022, and it's a testimony on what we are able to do actually. So we are developing 4 innovations, 4 revenue streams, which we are developing. The Hyrex 28 day cruiser, we are also creating a modular standalone hydrogen electric propulsion system, which is modular and scalable to other vessels and other performance outputs. Pressure valve assembly, hydrogen safety systems at sea, which is a component that will be needed for the rest of the marine hydrogen industry. And fourthly, we are able to sell and make revenues of the competence we built up within hydrogen technology and safety engineering at sea. The impact of all this is zero emission at sea with the freedom and flexibility that the customers actually need and want. We have a team of 8 young engineers, very competent, very enthusiastic and fast learners, which each of them have specialized technical competence, but jointly they make a competitive edge, which we think anyone else will be very hard to replicate. We have just completed our seed funding round, so we are well funded to commercialization and creating revenues in 2023. We also received a substantial amount of grants and loans from Innovation Norway. So our next Series A funding round will be in Q4 2024, where we aim to develop and deliver and commercialize larger vessels and larger propulsion systems to reach out globally. So hope to see you later, and thank you for your attention.
Moving further offshore now, our next company is developing deep sea infrastructure to create the world's first floating 5G network that will be capable of providing connectivity well before LEO satellite technology can do so, and with better performance. In doing so, they will be able to support many sustainable industries by, for instance, significantly lowering the cost of offshore wind projects development and making enhanced real-time data collection in maritime protected areas more viable. Here's Jet Engineering to tell you more.
Hi, I'm James Thomas, CEO and founder of Jet Connectivity. I've worked in engineering since graduating with a master's degree in 2012. However, my true passion is sailing, and it's something I've done since I could walk. So for me, protecting our oceans is vital. And as both an engineer and a sailor, I've realised we won't ever be able to do so without good data connections at sea. This first became apparent to me during the 2019 Fastnet race, where I found myself on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. In 50-mile-an-hour winds, our onboard electronic systems had failed. This left us having to navigate with paper charts as our otherwise perfectly capable mobile phones were useless without a signal. Experiencing this issue firsthand drove me to learn about the large problems around ocean connectivity, and how the lack of it causes not just safety risks, but large problems when it comes to offshore data collection and development, many of which are stunting the deployment of key industries we need to propel us into a more sustainable future, such as offshore wind and marine protected area monitoring. For example, when you build an offshore wind farm today, it takes 300 people over 3 years, with many of the delays being a result of needing to use archaic VHF and Tetra radios for communications. Moreover, LEO constellation technology, while rapidly coming online, still requires offshore infrastructure to pick up a signal, meaning it's impossible to be used in the 1 to 2 year period before this. Permanent infrastructure exists on a new wind farm to actually utilise this 21st century solution. This is where Jet Connectivity has entered, as we have developed and are currently deploying via buoys floating 5G networks that solve these problems. Our solution is unique in that it not only provides floating communications, but also the ability to unlock the digital ocean through enabling data gathering for impact. Our team is led by myself as the CEO, Chris Brown as chairman, who is an expert in digital technology, as well as an industry veteran who has grown and exited multiple startups. Martin Lin as CFO, who previously built a £100 million plus debt fund, and Dave Happy, the current chair of the UK Telecoms Data Task Force. Supporting us are Duncan, Izzy and Vicky. Duncan has 30 years experience in business operations and military buoys. Izzy has a background in satellite communications, and Vicky is an expert on marine science. Our next milestone is in March 2023, when we have our first ocean base station ready to run. This will be used for pilot deployments into a working wind farm with our first major blue chip customers. Between now and then, we're working to build our operation and sales team to run our floating networks. Following this, we plan to scale rapidly to meet the envisaged customer demands and create digital oceans for everyone. We're currently fully subscribed on our seed round, but have some space to oversubscribe for the right investors. Following this, we will continue to raise a blend of equity and debt through 2023, linked to future deployment milestones. Thank you for giving me a chance to meet today and explain how Jet Connectivity is creating a digital ocean based on 5G communications. Please do come and meet me and my team at our table afterwards. Many thanks.
Moving on to aquaculture now. Our next company is solving a fairly unknown problem in the alternative fish feed industry, which is a lack of digestibility of the insect biomass that's increasingly being developed as a replacement ingredient for unsustainable fish meal. Due to this issue, insect meal cannot be utilized in large quantities, limiting its potential for positive impact. However, with its proprietary enzymatic and microbiological process, this startup is changing that reality, recycling insect protein so it can be included as a primary ingredient in feeds and creating a much larger market for insect producers in the process. Please meet the minds behind this new solution at ItInsect.
ItInsect is the biotech startup which developed the sustainable alternative to aquaculture feeds. Today we're looking for a financial partner to bring our products to the Norwegian salmon industry. I'm Alessandro Romano, and I learned about overfishing about 2 years ago when I left for a 40-day sailing trip where my objective was eating only the fish that I could catch. And I suddenly realized how little fish is left in the ocean. A quarter of global fishing, or 20 million tons of fish, is caught to become feed for the aquaculture and the farming industry. And this is causing a big pressure on the already overfished marine stocks. And as a result, it is increasing the price of fish meal, a key ingredient for the aquaculture feeds, which, by the way, make up for 50% of a fish farmer's operating costs. Yet, farm fish is still the most sustainable source of animal protein, and ItInsect supports it with sustainable and high-performance aquaculture feeds. With ItInsect, the need for ocean-sourced ingredients is replaced by insects, byproducts, and microalgae, which are biotechnologically treated to improve by 8 times the nutritional efficiency compared to the raw ingredients. Our products are complete aquaculture feeds and feed ingredients produced in line with the principles of circular economy. Due to the proven higher digestibility, a fish can grow up to 15% faster, shortening their production cycle at no cost for the fish farm. This is what makes our products a competitive alternative to fish meal at large scale. Moreover, a fish raised with ItInsect contributes to reducing the CO2 emissions, upcycling byproducts, and reducing the need for marine sourced organisms. All this is possible thanks to a competent team in biotechnology, marine biology, fish nutrition, and sales.
Together, we're going to deliver 1,500 tons of feed in 2023, produced by our third-party supplier according to our patent-pending technology and processes. In 2025, we aim at serving 1% of the aquaculture feed market, which equals 75,000 tons of feed ingredients through the internalization of a biotech plant. This will open the way to becoming the European market leader for fully circular feed ingredients for the aquaculture, poultry, and swine market by 2028. But our journey is only started. And today, we're raising 4 million euros to improve and scale up our production, as well as expanding our product offer to the Norwegian market by 2024. We welcome you on board our journey towards sustainable aquaculture. Thank you, the Eat Insect team.
And now, let's hear from one of those alternative fish feed producers. Our next startup is deploying a mix of over 10 species of fungi and bacteria, as well as black soldier flies, to break down problematic agriculture waste into a fish and animal feed product with adjustable protein availability and significantly lower production costs than other competitors. With strong initial traction in the Southeast Asian market, please meet Full Circle Biotechnology.
Hi, I'm Felix Collins, CEO of Full Circle Biotechnology. I've been in the insect industry around 5 years, starting in the cold Oxfordshire winter of 2017, when I chatted with a new friend and she was an evangelical vegan. I tried to endear myself to her through my pescatarianism, but it was poorly received. Don't you know how polluted fisheries are? How unfair the industry is to farmers? And in truth, I didn't. But I know now that food production accounts for 1/4 of all emissions, and animal feed represents half of that. Protein is the main culprit. There are no cost-effective sources that are sustainable. And if there were, the average farmer has such little control over their feed protein that they wouldn't be able to take initiative and lower their footprint. 4 years after that chat, Full Circle had invented a sustainable protein so affordable it can actually save farmers money. Now we're using that protein to give farmers more control, to democratize animal feed. We allow farmers to buy their own sustainable protein mini factory with a smooth, slick experience. We handle all operations. We can even ease initial pressures with proprietary financing systems. And it's vital to give farms ownership over their feed, so they can seize their own low-carbon future, which benefits all of us. This is only possible because our protein tech is 10 times more efficient than the closest comparable. That allows us to be the only sustainable protein that cuts costs, and packaging it into a sales and subscription model is a unique, capital and asset light and super scalable approach. Our protein's carbon footprint is 650 times lower than the industry standard, and our solution means that farmers can instantly lower their footprint while saving money. We've signed agreements from the biggest global players, and we'll target them alongside independent farms as we go to market. Our team includes Dr. Chetty from an industrialization of biotech background and also advises policy and governments. Ted Boonra, who comes from sustainable engineering, not coming from automation. We have excellent finance guys, and many, many more. Combined, we have previously raised hundreds of millions and facilitated billions in revenue. We're looking to partner with proven disruptors to build our first fully automated, globally deployable solution, so we can tap into our $30 million existing pipeline. To do that, we're raising a $5 million US seed, closing in June 2023. This will allow us to start selling units, get to at least 8.5 million ARR, and expand our world-class team. Thank you for your attention. If you're an investor interested in learning more about democratizing feed or hearing how we plan to hit 1 billion ARR before our Series B, please join us at our table afterwards.
Shifting focus now to the consumer side of the market, our next startup is growing and harvesting seaweed for use in its line of award-winning seaweed-based products, including seasonings, dulse flakes, and even pasta sauces. Based in the US and strategically located in Maine, this company has strong early traction in supermarkets across the Northeast and is supporting local lobster men and women to help them in production, as well as local research institutions to ensure the development of seaweed as a commodity product continues sustainably. It's our pleasure now to introduce to you Oceans Balance.
Hi, I'm Mitch Lynch, the CEO and founder of Oceans Balance. Our food system is broken. Over-reliance on land-based agriculture, including livestock production, is depleting scarce resources and is contributing to more than 14% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. While covering 71% of the Earth's surface, oceans just contribute 2% to the world's food supply, and yet they're a near endless supply of vitamins and minerals. So Oceans Balance is scaling up regenerative ocean farming and advanced processing to create high-value functional ingredients for the pet, human, and cosmetics industry, as well as delicious consumer food products. We've accomplished a lot in a short period of time. We now have revenues exceeding $1 million. We have the #1 best-selling sea vegetable product on Amazon. We're in over 800 stores across the US, including the 2 largest distributors. And in the Q1 of 2023, we're launching a couple of high-value functional ingredients that will really revolutionize both the pet and human food industry. The US market for consumer and industrial ingredients is growing at a very rapid pace. Seaweed is the ultimate sustainable functional ingredient with its novel sources of biocompounds, dietary fiber, and nutrients, as well as its unique texturing properties. We believe introducing technology into the sector is the key to rapid growth. So Oceans Balance has teamed up with Woods Hole, the largest marine science laboratory in the country, to work on selective breeding and advanced processing. We're also formulating high-value products with one of the leading chemical engineers in the sector, and we've increased farm yields by 5x through some novel re-engineering. We're based in the state of Maine, which has thousands of miles of coastline, clean, cold water, and we're in the Northeast Corridor, where 50 million people live in the metro centers of Boston, New York City, and Washington, D.C. We have a leadership team with decades of experience in sales and distribution, ocean farming, marine science, and business and finance. Our most recent hire, Robert Agnew, was the head of sales at Bob's Red Mill for 27 years, which is one of the largest natural food companies in the US. My background is I've been working on solving problems with market-based solutions before the term impact was popularized. I did some of this at large institutions like Credit Suisse and Fitch Ratings, as well as I founded one of the early impact investment funds that was selected by Impact Assets for 4 years straight as one of the top global 50 managers. Seaweed is going to be the crop of the century from both an impact as well as a commercial scalable opportunity. We just closed half of a $1.2 million seed round with 3 high-profile investors, including Katapult, a large Japanese food manufacturer who we signed a strategic alliance with, as well as the chairman of Bob's Red Mill. The funds will help us launch a new line of premium high-value ingredients, scale up our advanced processing capabilities to meet the demand of larger buyers, as well as to reach financial sustainability. We're looking for 1 or 2 more value-add investors to close the round out in January. We look forward to talking to you more, and thank you.
Moving from seaweed to shellfish, our next company has built the world's first shellfish farming operating system, as well as fintech financing platform to support the growth of mussel and oyster and other mariculture farms worldwide, enabling and encouraging farm expansion through these 2 products. The company is aiming to close the projected $300 billion production infrastructure gap in the shellfish industry that will exist relative to shellfish demand by 2030. All the way from Australia, we're excited to introduce Ocean Farmer.
G'day, I'm Ewan McCash, marine scientist, oyster farmer and CEO of Ocean Farmer, an ocean farming fintech with a mission to support the growth of ocean farms here in Australia and around the world. Ocean farming regenerates the ocean environment. It's great for our communities and it produces the seafood we love as well as the crops of the future. But there's a problem. These farmers are not able to get access to finance to grow their farms. Without access to capital, it means less jobs, less environmental benefits, and less seafood. We're on a mission to help these farmers grow by helping them become more efficient using our technology and providing access to the capital they need to scale up their farm production. I became an oyster farmer 16 years ago because I love the ocean and I wanted to work in a sustainable industry. As it turns out, growing oysters, growing mussels and growing seaweed is more than sustainable. Ocean farming doesn't need fertilisers, chemicals or antibiotics. Instead, it improves the quality of our waterways by capturing carbon, filtering water and creating vital nurseries for marine life. Ultimately, it helps local communities to thrive, and this is what gets me out of bed every morning. It's not just about producing great seafood, it's about making a great impact.
Since founding, we've built a great team around us to develop a faster, more intuitive app and scale our customer base globally.
Now, we've launched Ocean Farmer Finance to solve what our farmers are telling us is the biggest barrier to growth.
And right now, we have $60 million in farm finance deals in our pipeline, and we've had an 800% increase in annualised revenue. Ocean Farmer has a plan to build a $1.5 billion company over the next 3 years, not only financing the growth of regenerative farming on a global scale, but becoming a leader in blue impact and the restoration of ocean ecosystems. We are in the final stages of our pre-A round and will be launching a Series A early in 2023.
We invite you to come on the journey, join the Ocean Farmer family and have real measurable impact by growing the farms that will change the world.
And finally, our last company, led by a team of outstanding PhDs, is using cutting-edge science to leverage microalgae as mini bioreactors in an effort to sustainably produce a wide variety of molecules that can replace synthetically derived active pharmaceutical ingredients. In doing so, they've developed a platform that can rapidly scale production and serve as an option for pharmaceutical companies looking to significantly green their production while adding necessary redundancies into their supply chains. Last but certainly not least, please meet AlgaC.
Very much for joining us today and welcome to AlgaC. I'm Dr. Madhukar Scalan and I've been building companies for the last 15 years with a focus on biofuels, waste remediation, feed, and advanced analytics. At AlgaC, we make drug ingredients. Our mission is to build a world where drugs are both affordable and accessible to everyone. A world where people don't have to choose between paying rent and paying medical bills. A world where people like my mother don't have to suffer from Alzheimer's because of a lack of drug options. 50 years ago, the demand for drug ingredients was skyrocketing, but producers were unable to keep up due to severe logistical challenges. And it was a single discovery that absolutely revolutionized the industry. A group of researchers figured out how to genetically engineer bacteria so that they could produce drug ingredients. This one tiny discovery enabled the industry to exponentially increase its supply of ingredients, such as insulin, and in doing so has been instrumental in growing the industry to over $250 billion per year. Despite so many advances in the drug ingredient sector, 80% of the global population still does not have access to the drugs that they need. The drug ingredient industry is now facing a new wave of challenges, which include unstable supply chain, rising prices, and decarbonization mandates. At AlgaC, we've created a single-step biomanufacturing process, allowing ingredients to be produced significantly cheaper, with little to no impact on the environment, and with a streamlined supply chain that minimizes risks. We're able to achieve these outcomes by simplifying the manufacturing process, where we go from a traditional multi-step chemical process to a single-step biological one, utilizing our genetically engineered algae. Our algae represent one of the first major leaps in biomanufacturing since the researchers made their discovery 50 years ago. We've assembled an excellent team, bringing together a diverse group of individuals that have built and exited companies across a range of industries. Our directors and advisors include both former and current C-suites for big pharma companies like Teva, Centriant, and Apotex. We're currently working towards having our first signed contracts with big pharma, which will generate $84 million in revenue. With AlgaC, you have an opportunity to help make drugs both affordable and accessible for everybody. You also have an opportunity to be part of building a multi-billion-dollar company. To get there, we need three things. We need to have at least 75 million in annual recurring revenue, and we need to continue to build our IP portfolio and our world-class team, giving us a clear advantage over our competition. We're currently raising 10 million Canadian, which will be leveraged against 7.5 million in grants over the next 24 months. We have two large CVCs at the table in late stage due diligence, one of which is willing to lead the round, and we're looking to round out the round with another fund that either has biology or synthetic biology expertise. I want to thank everybody at Katapult and all of the investors that have attended today's session. We'd love to meet with you at our table afterwards.
That's it, our 10 new Katapult Ocean companies, joining our family of now 52 ocean ventures from all over the world. I hope it was inspiring to learn about their solutions. We consider these companies as great impact investment opportunities, and we encourage you to engage with them, learn from them, invest with them, and help them accelerate their impact potential. Now, jump into the tables and invest, and see you tomorrow, same time for Katapult Climate's Investor Day. Thank you.